The film commences with a heartwarming scene where the Duncan family joyously celebrates their daughter's birthday, showcasing the depth of their close-knit bond. In the present, William and Kat seize a precious father-daughter moment as they engage in their beloved sport of softball. However, as they gather for a family dinner, Kat's parents express their concerns about her prioritizing sports over academics. Despite their apprehensions, Kat remains steadfast in her conviction that she can excel in both realms and confidently asserts her determination to emerge victorious in their upcoming match. Meanwhile, in the depths of a notorious nightclub known as the Den, the infamous Fetter Boys, a street gang of ill repute, make their entrance. Simultaneously, their patriarch and leader, Donnie, indulges in a ruthless act of violence, brutally assaulting and killing a man, while his two sons, Rory, the eldest, and Danny, the youngest, join him. Danny, filled with eagerness, declares his readiness to partake in their illicit enterprises and is granted his first firearm, embarking upon a treacherous path that unlocks his potential for criminality. Returning to the sanctuary of the Duncan household, William and Kat decide to commemorate their victorious game with a treat, opting for the enjoyment of tacos. William steps into a Mexican restaurant to place their order, leaving Kat alone in the car. Tragically, their lives take a harrowing turn as the Fetter Boys abruptly arrive on the scene. They forcefully extract Kat from the vehicle, and in a desperate bid to spare her life, she implores them, offering everything she possesses. However, her pleas and innocence hold no sway, as she is merely perceived as a means for Danny to solidify his initiation into the gang. Without hesitation, Danny grimly exhibits his determination, callously snuffing out Kat's life, while William, alerted by the deafening gunshots, is left grief-stricken and helpless. Overwhelmed by anguish, William charges outside, launching a desperate assault against Danny. Despite his valiant efforts, Danny manages to overpower William, rendering him unconscious, only to be subsequently apprehended by the swiftly arriving police. Immediately after, William and Jen receive devastating news about their daughter's fate, plunging them into profound sorrow and struggling to come to terms with their unbearable loss. Furthermore, justice proves to be incredibly unjust as Danny is handed a mere 5 to 7 years in prison, a woefully inadequate punishment that deeply wounds the victim's family. Adding insult to injury, Danny refuses to acknowledge his guilt in Kat's murder, exploiting the argument that William's testimony is inadmissible due to his alleged concussion during their altercation. This realization leaves William frustrated and utterly disillusioned with the deplorable state of the legal system. Nonetheless, he reluctantly accepts the plea deal, recognizing the need to secure some semblance of resolution for the case. During the trial, William undergoes a profound shift in his intentions, realizing that true justice lies within his own hands. Deciding to take matters into his own control, he allows Danny to be released and secretly follows the gang to Danny's residence. Biding his time in his car until nightfall, William patiently awaits the opportune moment to set his plan into motion. In a surge of uncontrollable fury, Danny emerges, and William willingly unleashes his inner demons. Without a moment's hesitation, he ruthlessly runs Danny over, driven by a blinding rage. Enraged, William delivers a final, vengeful blow with a bat, ensuring the complete demise of the despicable individual before swiftly departing the scene. Upon returning home, William promptly cleans his car, meticulously removing any trace of evidence related to his crime. After disposing of every incriminating item, he engages in a brief conversation with his wife, who innocently watches a cherished family video, unaware of the dark path her husband has embarked upon. Overwhelmed by a whirlwind of shock and raw emotions, he grapples with the crushing weight of an irreversible choice that now consumes him. Meanwhile, the atmosphere at the club electrifies as the Fetter Boys swagger in, with Rory presenting Donnie the spoils of their illicit endeavors. However, Danny, dissatisfied with the meager haul, delivers a chilling warning that Donnie won't escape unscathed if he fails again. But then, a thunderbolt of news strikes, Danny's life extinguished in an instant. They rush to the crime scene, where the horrifying reality of Danny's motionless body in a body bag crashes upon them. As the sun rises on a new day, Detective Chen's arrival casts a cloud of suspicion over William, his eyes peering deeply into his soul. With a steely resolve, William vehemently denies any involvement, supported by Jen, who testifies to his presence at home the night before. But once the authorities withdraw, a tempest brews between Jen and William, each grappling with their own suspicions and wounds. In the midst of their shared loss, their hearts ache for understanding and solace, yet struggle to find common ground. Within the club's dimly lit corners, a fire ignites within Rory's heart, an unyielding determination to avenge his brother's killer. With fervor burning in his eyes, he issues a relentless mandate, commanding his men to scour the streets in an unrelenting pursuit of the one responsible. Confirmation from Luna's description leads them to believe the culprit is indeed William. The next day, Rory and Henley spot William working on his laptop outside a cafe, seizing the perfect moment to launch a surprise attack from behind. Fortunately, William's quick reflexes enable him to counter their assault. He attempts to flee but is eventually cornered, hanging by a thread. Drawing upon his skills and experience, he turns the tables, eliminating Henley and managing to escape once again. He reports the incident to a passing police car, but Rory slips away smoothly. Back at home, a sense of threat looms heavily, prompting William to secure the house. Recognizing the need for protection, Jen suggests contacting Detective Chen. Meanwhile, at the crime scene, the police discover yet another life claimed by one of the Fetter boys, transforming this into a chilling serial crime case. Chen receives a call from William, and they arrange to meet at the Duncan residence. During their conversation, Chen confirms the suspicions of William's involvement and emphasizes that he has initiated a war with Rory through his quest for revenge against Annie. Chen further reveals William's Marine record, acknowledging his ability to handle himself. Despite this revelation, Chen agrees to honor William's request to protect his wife by deploying a squad car to monitor their house. Meanwhile, a car smuggler named Dante enters the illicit auto shop owned by Roach, engaging in the sale of smuggled car parts on the black market. Expecting monetary compensation, Dante is taken aback when he receives a bag filled with high-grade firearms instead, realizing their immense value in the underground market. On that fateful night, William opens up to Jen, confessing his act of vengeance by admitting to killing Danny as retribution for the loss of their daughter. Suddenly, the squad car departs from the area after being targeted by a thrown bottle, providing an opening for Rory and Donnie to invade the couple's home. What begins as a brief introduction and casual conversation swiftly escalates into a horrifying turn of events, resulting in Jen's tragic death and William being shot and left wounded on the ground. Despite his grievous injuries, William summons the strength to call 911 as the Fetter boys make their escape, leaving him lying in a pool of blood. Before long, he awakens to the harsh reality of being confined within the somber walls of the hospital, his heart heavy with the absence of his wife. Overwhelmed by a storm of emotions and rendered physically powerless, he yearns for liberation, seeking solace in the release from his unbearable existence. Nevertheless, the unwavering dedication of the medical staff persists as they exhaust every avenue to provide him with the utmost care. Once tranquility finds its way back into his spirit, Chen pays him a visit, marveling at his resilience and labeling him a miraculous survivor. Chen offers a promise, assuring him that news of his demise will remain concealed if he commits wholeheartedly to his recovery. Additionally, Chen extends empathy, encouraging him to embrace a semblance of normalcy once more, understanding the depth of his loss. Following a series of therapeutic sessions, he triumphantly regains his ability to walk, seizing the moment to set his escape plan into motion. Ingeniously disguising himself as a janitor, he effortlessly slips away from the confines of the medical facility. Subsequently, he seeks refuge at the Western Motel, coincidentally sharing accommodations with Dante, who is caught red-handed in the act of pilfering another traveler's suitcase. The next day, he retrieves his funds from the bank. Dante's insatiable curiosity gets the better of him, prompting him to offer assistance upon discovering William's conflict with the Fetter boys. Initially hesitant, William gradually opens up to Dante, eventually seeking his guidance in procuring a firearm. Dante proudly displays his gun collection to William in his office, sharing a past encounter where he suffered a gunshot wound and lost his cousin to the Fetter boys. They bond over their shared hatred and Dante offers his assistance. Determined for revenge, William purchases guns, ammunition, Dante's old jacket, and a car as the foundation for his ultimate plan. He trains diligently in an open field, honing his shooting skills and preparing for the confrontation with the Fetter boys. Prior to executing his plan, he visits his family's grave to pay homage, acknowledging the unhealable heartbreak of a husband and father. Under the cover of night, he targets Zach, Rory's trusted associate, sneaking into his house while Zach is engrossed in a video game. A fierce and intense hand-to-hand combat ensues, where William initially struggles against Zach's size and strength. However, the tide turns, and Zach pleads for mercy, begging for the safety of his daughter. But William's thirst for revenge knows no mercy. Hours later, the lifeless body of Zach is discovered by the police. In a gripping turn of events, Chen pays an unexpected visit to Donnie's office, carrying a message that could change everything. Against the prevailing belief, William is alive and actively engaged in the ruthless slayings of Rory's men. With genuine intent, Chen seeks to put an end to their destructive war, urging Rory to adopt a low profile for a while. Regrettably, the fetters dismiss Chen's warning, stubbornly persisting in their unrelenting pursuit of William. Meanwhile, outside the den, William's eyes fixate on Chen's departure, suspicion creeping into his mind. Betrayed by the very authorities he once trusted, William confronts Chen, his grip tightening around his firearm. Together, they enter the house, where William accuses Chen of betrayal, accusing him of failing to safeguard their community. Ironically, even Chen acknowledges the fetters' immunity within the system, yet he steadfastly opposes William's bloodthirsty rampage. With the impending resolution looming close, William issues a grave warning to Chen, aware that the end is nigh. However, if Chen dares to stand in his way, William makes it clear that he won't hesitate to kill him. The next day, Donnie issues an order to Rory, commanding him to eliminate William once and for all. Without delay, they set off on their mission. Unbeknownst to them, William has already anticipated their next move and lies in wait inside his car parked near the club. Skillfully feigning drunkenness, he quietly takes out the bouncer and proceeds directly to Donnie's office, shocking him with his sudden appearance. Donnie, fully aware of the impending confrontation, resigns himself to his fate, urging William to get it over with. As they engage in a conversation, William reflects on the intense emotions he experienced when he first took a life. However, in this moment, he finds himself strangely numb at the thought of killing Donnie. He questions if Donnie feels the same level of detachment that William felt when he ended Jen's life. Without hesitation, William swiftly brings an end to the notorious Donnie Fetter. Taking hold of Donnie's phone, he calls Rory, delivering the heart-stopping news of his father's demise. Yet, to William's surprise, Rory remains stoic, showing no signs of grief or shock. Instantly, the Fetter boys race back to the club, ready to face the grim reality that awaits them. Chaos erupts as they relentlessly pursue a man they believe to be dead. No longer going by the name William, he has transformed into a monster resembling his pursuers. Upon reaching Donnie's office, they are met with the lifeless body of their leader. Surprisingly, Rory remains emotionally detached, exhibiting no connection to his own father. Nevertheless, their focus is not on Rory but on finding and confronting William. Suddenly, William's voice resonates through the speaker, revealing his presence within the club. The hunt is on. Initially, William taunts them with a haunting melody, but it quickly escalates into a violent shootout. In a daring move, he seizes one of Rory's men as a hostage, threatening to end his life. However, Rory takes matters into his own hands and kills his own subordinate instead. Fortunately for William, he manages to escape, albeit with a wounded shoulder. Struggling, he drags himself up a flight of stairs, with Dante silently observing his ordeal. Concurrently, Luna provides an update, disclosing William's location at the motel. Rory and his men arrive, seeking William's location but to no avail. Without hesitation, Rory executes him, igniting a fierce fight as William and Dante fight back against overwhelming odds. Forced to flee, they engage in a relentless shootout, with Dante calling for reinforcements from his ally, Roach. In a well-timed move, they find refuge in a garage, where Roach's gang showers Rory's vehicle with bullets. Undeterred, Rory crashes through the garage, emerging unharmed while Dante and William bear their battle scars. Filled with bitterness, Rory laments the unfairness of Danny's death, believing he was too pure for this harsh world. Seizing the moment when Rory is lost in thoughts of his brother, William seizes a screwdriver and ruthlessly plunges it into Rory's neck. Rory meets his demise swiftly, a defiant smile etched on his face, a lasting reminder for William. Shortly after, the piercing siren blares, signaling the arrival of the police. Dante seizes the opportunity to escape while the law enforcement surrounds the scene. The police bear witness to the horrifying crime scene but also find solace in the fact that the Fetter boys will cease to exist. As the movie draws to a close, Chen approaches William, urging him to surrender. However, William's time is fleeting, and he takes his final breath after successfully dismantling the notorious gang in his community, paying the ultimate price with his own life. The movie ends here.